This review is sponsored by the creators of this t-shirt that was shipped to me today. You guys like it? Yeah, neither do I. It was supposed to be a Nirvana t-shirt. Turns out it was a religious t-shirt and it was supposed to be Nirvana. Anyway, that's besides the point. Don't do the Facebook ads. That's all I can say. Don't buy into those. Anyway, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is a remaster of the 2012 RPG, I'd say semi-hit, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I didn't get a chance to play the original on PlayStation 3, and I actually still vividly remember when it released because I was actually in college for game art and design still. So anyway, 8 years later, remaster of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning releases, and mind you, I have no prior knowledge of Kingdoms of Amalur. What I can say about it in my playthrough of the remastered game, this is an excellent game. The Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is an excellent RPG that definitely dissects the RPG genre, and it utilizes a good, strong, somewhat cliche story, and it also utilizes really good, strong, time-based gameplay, not of the brutal likes of things like Dark Souls. It's kind of like Bloodborne, because Bloodborne is a semi-difficult game. It's time-based, but it's like not screaming down your throat, this is a difficult as hell game. But anyway, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, is a great looking game, for one. It mostly has a good story, but it's due in part to good writing and witty dialogue. The performances, they do their job. You can hear some personality and some emotion out of the characters every now and again, but it fluctuates. My main concerns and problems with Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, the gameplay, the combat, it can be a button masher, mostly from beginning to the middle point. And the graphics, it's very detailed and it's very defined. They do have good locations, different variants of environments. I don't know. I just feel like they should have... I don't know. A game like this, I feel like it deserved a full remake, not just a remaster. My biggest problem, personally, with Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is whether it's on the easiest difficulty or the hardest difficulty. The fifth to last mission, I believe, is when the game is just like, oh, you're in this for just the story. Well, screw you! You can't just do just the story. Yeah, it's one of those RPGs where it forces you to have to do everything to level up, to grind, to be able to beat the main story. What I can say is the main story itself is decently paced and it's pretty lengthy. I would say it's about 10 hours on the easiest difficulty. On the hardest difficulty, I definitely will say you are encouraged, even at least near the end, you are encouraged to explore and grind. You know, you're compelled and feel encouraged to do that. Not have to, I mean, nobody has to do anything. You don't have to play this game. But if you play this game and you play it on the hardest, you are going to feel compelled to want to grind and do a lot of the stuff. And honestly, it's actually not bad of stuff to play for like side quests and whatnot. You know, you'll explore the world and you'll meet random people and they'll tell you, oh, something like, I lost my friends over there. Care to join and help me? And then there'll be another one where, I don't know, something random, like they lost a book. I don't know. Or even you'll explore the world and in a cave you'll find a manuscript or a letter, and right there's a side quest, kind of like a mystery, go find them side quest, and it's actually pretty cool. I honestly would say how they incorporated this stuff into the game does make it feel very lived in. This is a very living world. It's a very living world. It's a very colorful world. It's a world with a semi-good story. It has good writing, but the main story itself is pretty much cliche, although the idea around the main story I actually do like, where your main character ends up getting killed off right at the very beginning, and then he gets brought back to life by wizards and whatnot, and you do have to go find who killed you, who betrayed you, blah blah blah. Yeah, cliche. But the idea of him being killed off right at the beginning and then coming back, I find that to be very original and very creative for storytelling. Along the way in your journey, you do meet a bunch of individuals that have their own colorful personalities, and I appreciate the cast of characters in this. Yeah, that's mainly everything that I have to say about Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. It's a solid RPG. I would say, at the very least, rent it for a week or so. Rent it, play it, give it back. It's not groundbreaking, but it does its job and it's great. But other than the sometimes repetitious gameplay and the lead up to non-stop grinding near the end, those are just mood killers, to be honest. So otherwise, play this game. Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning, to me, I was going to give it an 8 until I got to the 4th or 5th to last mission, and then it makes you have to go out, even on the easiest difficulty. That's my problem. On the easiest difficulty, that should be you playing for the story mode. Get the time spent, how long the story is, what the story's like, the dialogue, all of that. The hardest difficulty is when you replay it on the hardest. That's when you explore the world fully and fruitfully. That's when you go and scavenge and do everything. Actually get the meat of the game. But unfortunately, this is another game where they ultimately force you to have to go do everything, even on the easiest difficulty. So, because of that, Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning, to me, is a 7 out of 10. Also, there's no HDR included, so it doesn't matter to me. It plays in 2160p on my PS4 Pro on my 55-inch 4K TV, so HDR, no HDR, I see a difference, but for gaming, it doesn't really bother me if there is or isn't any. Otherwise, though, 7 out of 10. Thank you.